Okay, so as you can already tell, this is going to be quite different from my regular tutorial videos. For one, this isn't really a tutorial, I guess. I mean, it's half tutorial and half showcase, basically. Because I'm gonna be showing the effects of standing on horse. And if you don't know what that means, I recommend you watch the previous video I did on that. I'm gonna link that in the description so you can see that. But yeah, I didn't want to have to resort to making a commentated version because it's gonna be a bit rambly and all over the place, I think. I'm not used to doing this, but making a non-commentated version with getting clean recordings and adding subtitles and stuff for everything I'm gonna show, it just would have put like a lot of extra stress and stuff. It didn't feel worth it, and it didn't feel like something I would have fun doing. And like one of the main reasons I do these things is because they're really fun to do. So yeah, sorry about that. You're gonna have to deal with this getting a bit unfocused. But yeah, in the last video I showed how to stand on the horse. So I'm going to show the effects and stuff of doing that, and showing what happens in the locked state, and it's hard to explain. So you can see why I made a commentated version, because there's a lot of stuff to do. So let me just set up real quick and we can get to the first part. Okay, so there we go, I'm all set up. And the first thing I'm gonna do is, let me just kill my horse real quick. There we go. First thing I'm gonna explain is I'm gonna have to wait for my horse to die here. First thing I want to do is just show you locked state in general. The locked state that isn't on my horse. Because right now I'm on the horse in locked state. And now I'm in this locked state. And we're gonna be falling by default, so I'm gonna do a fall damage cancel to get me down on the ground. Well, sometimes it works. I think I'm a bit too far from the ground. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now I'm in locked state, which is pretty special. And it's what you get into after you kill your horse. You can also do this from the bike. And the locked state here on the ground, or well, we're in the air basically, but it's different from the locked state on the horse. So I just wanted to show this first and make the distinction. But I'm gonna show you the stuff that you can do on the horses first. Mostly because it's a lot more setting up time and it's really annoying. And it's gonna take a while. So I want to get that over with first. So let's go set up again. Okay, so we're set up again. I'm gonna kill this dude. There we go. Yeah, that's also one important thing to note. Your arrows are based on where your camera is. So even if Link looks like he's gonna be shooting this way, you're actually gonna be shooting that way. So that's something good to keep in note for the rest of this, because we're gonna be using a lot of arrows. You can do that right now actually, because when you're in this state, you can't just like spur on your horse and make her go anywhere by yourself. So you actually have to have an enemy spoker, or you can do it yourself by just shooting right at the butt with a fire, or really any elemental arrow will spook it and make it go forward. But sometimes your horse's butt might be like out of line for you to actually have the fire come close enough, and then you can actually scope to face your horse in the direction of the scope to have a better chance. So yeah, that works. But that's really the main way of getting around on this horse. But as you can see, I mounted Epona, and there's a reason for that, because I want to show you a slightly different way of getting around if my horse spawns. Alright, so I'm gonna mount her, and now our camera's focused on this horse. Don't ask me to explain how any of this works. Now we can do some extra funky stuff. And the first thing I'm just gonna do is spook this horse. That didn't quite work out. I thought my horse was stronger than that, but I guess not. Okay, well then I can show you what happens if you kill your secondary horse, I guess. Okay, if you kill your secondary horse, you notice that I haven't pressed anything yet. I'm going to press aim with my weapon, and my camera will start panning. And it's trying to go to a very specific spot. So I'm wiggling a bit. It's trying to get past this, but it can't really, because it wants to travel along the ground. I'm going to show what happens if the camera has its way and lets itself travel further a bit later. For now, well, I'll just show you. This is what happens if you kill your secondary horse. So this is also a bit fun to mess around with. So, again, since the arrows are based on the camera, if you want to shoot your own horse now, you're gonna have to aim straight down. And also, if you let go of aim, if anything like this, I am, you know, trying to move the camera stuff, but I can't. It just locks in place. So if you want to move around the camera when your secondary horse is dead, you have to either aim with the bow or a weapon. You can also scope. And it slowly zooms in for some reason. And it's pretty weird. We don't really know why it does that. There's just a lot of stuff that we don't know why it does that, so please don't ask me to explain. This video is rambly enough as it is. But I'm gonna set up again and show you what happens if you kill your primary horse instead of your secondary one. Alright, so we're set up again. I'm gonna call for my secondary horse. Oh, she can't come? Sometimes that just happens. If she can't come, you have to like switch angles. You can see I'm running sideways. You can scope. Sometimes you're just fucked and there's nothing you can do, but she usually eventually comes. Okay, so I'm gonna mount her. And then we're gonna try to spook her without killing her this time. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, our camera is a bit confused right now. So now I want to kill Epona. We're just gonna... Epona's pretty strong. So it might take a bit. There we go. Epona's dead. I have free fairies, I'm fine. Okay. So now it basically focuses in on Link, which is a bit disappointing, you know? So now I'm just a locked state again. And basically the other horses just gone back to normal, so that's what happens, which is a bit disappointing. Next I want to show you a way to like actually control your horse though, while in locked state on top of the horse, which is pretty fun. I just have to set up again, so be right back. Alright, so now we intentionally get in the mud, which is a bit tricky, but doable. There we go. Okay, so we want to get our horse into this swimming thingy. There we go. Now you see we have the mounting option again. Except we're actually on the horse. Now, that doesn't actually do much. We actually can't even scope. It's like... It's a pretty funky state. So we can actually... Doing this, we can actually scare our horse. We don't actually have to, like, shoot it straight in the butt. So we can somewhat roam freely with this, kind of. We can actually get her spurs sometimes. Somewhat random. There we go. You see that? So this is like the most control you have, basically. You can actually even lure her into the opening cutscene like this. Unfortunately, nothing really special happens. Link just kind of falls off, and the cutscene plays as quote-unquote normal. But yeah, there's not that much to this one. It's just pretty fun. So I'm gonna show off one that's a little bit more useful, actually. Alright, I positioned my horse a bit differently, so I should hopefully be in a better spot this time. Alright, well, maybe not. That's still good though, actually. I should hopefully be better. I'm not quite sure yet, though. Alright, so I'm definitely in the better position. Okay, so now we're just gonna... Okay, yeah. I'm still falling, apparently. So I gotta fall damage cancel first. Okay, now we cryo, and... Ta-da! So, if you're curious about how I got my thumbnail, this is it. I did this in Skull Lake. So you can do this with pretty much any body of water or mud. I haven't tried ice water yet, but it should work just fine. It's pretty useless, but I mean, it's pretty fun too. So there's not that much you can do down here, really. It's pretty much like Locked State, just underwater. One kind of fun thing though is using amiibo down here. Let me get one. So you can see how the water affects the gravity. What's weird about being locked in water is that you can actually pick items up. And it's not because I'm stuck in this position. I've been stuck upright and I still haven't been able to open chests or pick stuff up. So that's a bit strange. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, so next one is gonna need a bit longer setup, so I'll see you right there. Alright, so we've set Epona up very high here for a good reason. Which you'll see in just a bit. I actually want her to be a little bit higher up. Because better safe than sorry. Alright, so it pretty much looks as like this is as far as up I can get her. And now we mount our secondary horse, and then we kill it. Sorry, honey. Okay, that's good, because Epona actually moved up a bit further. Okay, so now I'm gonna hold my bow out. Just aim with that, and hopefully something interesting is gonna happen. There we go. We soft locked the game. there's the thing called there's a thing we call the origin on the map. The game is basically trying to pull the camera there, but the camera goes so far away from Link that the game just soft locks at this point. Pretty much usually here at Colombo Lake. And there's not really anything you can do to get out of this state. It will just keep... The circle in the corner will keep going forever, basically. But if you ever wanted to softlock your game, here's a very tedious, very much not worth it way to do it. Probably the slowest way to softlock your game. Thankfully, that's all the on-horse related stuff I wanted to show off. It's been a few hours, so I can finally move on to the locked state things, which are easier to set up. So I'm gonna go set up another horse. Alright. If I'm lucky here, I'm gonna end up pretty much upside down once my horse disappears, because then I can show us something else. Okay, hopefully... Nah, dang it. You can actually clip into the height map if you get far enough under, but I wasn't far enough down. So we're just gonna get back to it. There we go. Now we're in locked state again. So as mentioned, this state is very different from the one on the horse, because here you can actually use runes. See the bombs go flying up. And Link is basically stuck in this very small box. There's barely room to do anything. So, I'm trying to crouch, I can't scope. Still use the camera. You can use Amiibo. Basically, you can use every rune. If you use bombs, sometimes you can get what at least I call drone camera, which is when the camera is basically stuck way up in the air. Like you can see where the bombs fly up. Okay, sometimes they don't fly up, they're just kind of weird. But sometimes the camera like gets stuck there, and it's pretty cool. I guess I'm gonna have to show a pre-recorded clip of that, because there are some things I already have clips of that I'll just use instead of recording new footage, because as I've stated, I'm doing it this way because there's just so much footage I'd have to get anew, so I'll show those off later. Attacking works a bit differently here too. You can actually spin attack while in horse lock state, but you can't here. You can shoot your bow fine anywhere else. But again, it's the same rule here that the arrows are shot from the camera, not from Link, so you can just ignore wherever he's aiming, because it doesn't follow those rules. Two-handed weapons work the same way as they do on lock state on horse though. He'll start the attack, but he'll just like get stuck like this. You can actually move the box by shield jumping slightly. It's not gonna get you very far, especially since you're probably gonna run out of shields before you get anywhere. Okay, so I'm not completely stuck in this locked state. There are actually a few ways I can get out. One of the ways I actually recorded earlier. So you can use a chest to get out. You see, he does that little jump. You can also get out of here by mounting a horse. Unfortunately, I killed my primary horse, which I can just call my way. I only have a Pony, and I just have to hope that she goes to me. Do I have anything she needs? There we go. See, there he just pops out of that locked state. There's also another way to get out, which is you can watch a cutscene, and he'll pop out afterwards. So I'll get my clips ready and start recording those. So sorry about the horrendous video quality, but I've had to download these old clips from Twitter and then record them again for Streamlabs. That's why they look so bad. But anyway, here's an example of popping out of locked state. But actually here I'm still on my horse, because I've killed my horse, and my horse hasn't faded away yet. But yeah, he pops out like that. And here's another effect of being in locked state. This video is actually sped up by 15. So if you flurry rush an enemy in locked state, it keeps going for almost forever for seemingly no reason. I have to show this off in a really weird way too, sorry. It's a really old highlight. That won't load properly. Anyway, here's the drone camera I was talking about. Although this isn't the same one as the one that you get through bombs. But it's still pretty strange though, I think I'd say that. I wish I could show off the one with bombs, but it's pretty random in my experience. I also don't have a clip of this, but you can actually delay cutscenes by entering an area in locked state. Again, I don't have any clips, but I did this with the Rito Village cutscene. You're supposed to get it halfway onto the last bridge to Rito Village. I made my lock state extend over that, and I actually was on the, islands of Rito Village before I finally popped out and the cutscene started playing. And of course, most of these effects are available with the bike as well, except for you can't kill the bike, so that's the thing you can't do. But yes, pretty much all I can think of. And I think those are basically the main things that I want to show off. It's so annoying because I know there's stuff I'm missing. I know there's clips that I can't find and things that I've forgotten how to do as well, which really sucks. This is really I'm doing it so you don't have to kind of thing, because as I mentioned, setting up this stuff is really annoying. I've been recording for about a bit over 3 hours now, and as you can see, I don't have a lot of footage to actually show you. And again, I really didn't want this to become such rambly as it did. I mean, I'm gonna have to see how bad it is in editing, but basically I just really wanted to show those things off. Not sure why. This is kind of like my pet project. I did so much with this horse stuff back last year, so I really just wanted to have, something to show for it. But yeah, that's all I can remember, and I'm gonna edit this and then get mad at myself for forgetting to record some stuff. I'm just gonna say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this somewhat. I have no idea what kind of train wreck this is gonna be.